They're making a huge mistake disrespecting the Golden State Warriors. As you all know, the Golden State Warriors are currently ranked 8th in the Western Conference, and a lot of NBA teams and also NBA analysts are counting them out that they have no chance of making it into the playoffs and winning another NBA championship. So in today's video, we're going to be going through 5 underrated moves that the rest of the NBA do not know about this Golden State Warriors team, and how these moves are going to help the Golden State Warriors win another NBA championship and go back to back. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Golden State Warriors content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. And if you don't have NBA League Pass but want to watch the Warriors games for less than a cup of coffee, don't forget to join my Patreon where I live stream every Golden State Warriors game so you can watch it anytime, anywhere. But let's get straight into the first move, and the first move being that Stephen Curry is playing at an MVP level. Now I think a lot of people have forgotten, but Stephen Curry has been playing out of his mind. Yes, he has been injured and he's finally back out there on the court, and it's great to see him back in action, especially his first game back. However, when it comes to Steph Curry, he is getting to that older age of 34, and a lot of people think that he is going to be slowing down very soon. However, we have actually seen an opposite effect, because Stephen Curry is playing some of the highest ever basketball he has ever played in his entire career. If we look at his stats so far this season, he's currently averaging 29.7 points per game. He's also averaging 6.7 assists and also 6.4 rebounds. Now, if we look at his rebound total, this rebound total is actually the highest rebounds he's ever averaged in his whole career, and he's pretty much averaging 30 points, and the last time he ever put up those numbers on the point total was back in 2016 season, which is basically peak Steph Curry. So he's definitely scoring at a very high rate, and he's shooting even higher rate when it comes to that as well. If we look at his effective field goal percentage as a whole when it comes to 2-point and 3-points, he's currently on 62%. The last time he actually shot that high of an effective field goal percentage was, yes guys, back in peak Steph Curry years of 2015 and 2016 season. And if we even go further, he's actually attempting the most 3-point attempts he's ever attempted, and he also has the same averages that he did have back in his peak era of 2015 to 2017, or roughly around that time. So he's definitely playing at an MVP level, and he's pretty much back to where he was, turning back the clock to 2016 Steph Curry, and a lot of people do not realize that. I think there's something that is going very underrated about this Golden State Warriors team, that Stephen Curry can definitely still lead this team, give them the scoring that they need, and give that 3-point shooting that he always has given in order for this team to win another NBA championship and go back to back. But I do think with Steph Curry being 34 years of age and him actually getting bigger and stronger over the past couple of years, as he's not been the same when it comes to speed, I think it's honestly done tremendous things for him, because he's a lot more stronger on defense, he's able to take hits better, and he's able to go through screens much better on defense as well. So I think this has played a huge part and played huge benefits to Steph Curry even as age has gone on, because I think he has gotten stronger and he has more experience when it comes to playing in the NBA. The second move that the rest of the NBA don't know about is that Andrew Wiggins isn't even back yet. Now, a lot of people may have forgotten, but Andrew Wiggins is a part of this Golden State Warriors team, and once he is back, he is honestly going to help push this team even further, not only on offense but on defense as well. Now, we have known for some time now that Andrew Wiggins has been a crucial role for this Golden State Warriors team, especially in last season's NBA championship, but so far this season he's currently averaging 18.4 points per game, 5 rebounds, and also 2.2 assists. And not only does it show up in the stat sheet, but when it comes to the intangibles that he does on the defensive end, marking some of the best players in the league and holding them to under 20-30 points depending on the superstar, I think he has done a fantastic job at that, and I do think to have him back in the Warriors lineup would honestly be fantastic, especially for the rest of the season. Now, I do think this is going to be fantastic due to the fact that with Andrew Wiggins having some time off, it has led for some other players to finally fill in their roles and get more game time to really understand what it's like playing with the Golden State Warriors. As you all know, we did lose players such as Gary Payton II, Otto Porter, JTA, so it has taken some time for the new signings to actually get familiar with what the Golden State Warriors are trying to run here, the motivation behind everything, all that stuff, guys. There is a lot to it than just playing basketball, and I think with his time off, the other players or role players have been able to really fit into the system very well. So I think Andrew Wiggins has definitely done a fantastic job so far, and the fact that he is coming back very soon, a lot of people have forgotten just how much of a beast he is. Now, one thing that is very surprising about this season than all the other seasons that he's played, not only with the Warriors but his whole career, is that he's shooting the highest 3-point percentage he's ever shot in his entire lifetime. Now, so far this season, he's currently averaging 6.8 3-point attempts per game, but he's shooting the highest 3-point percentage out of the whole Warriors roster. Yes, guys, even above Steph Curry at 44%. So this is honestly insane. Steph Curry is honestly a 3-point, god out there. But when it comes to Andrew Wiggins, he's definitely a close second as of right now, because to be able to take 7 threes per game and shooting at a 44% 3-point percentage is very, very good. So having Wiggins out there would not only help on defense, although he is majority of a defensive player, but his offense really is needed, especially for that starting unit. The third big move is that the Golden State Warriors haven't even started playing Patrick Baldwin Jr. Now, I think PBJ, as I like to call him, has honestly been such an underrated pick that not many people know that he is pretty much going to be on all-out superstars in the years to come. I do think PBJ definitely needs some time due to the fact that he is a rookie, but when it comes to the games that he has played for the Golden State Warriors, he's putting up some really good numbers. So far this season, with the Golden State Warriors, especially going from G League all the way to Warriors and switching between the two, he's averaging 5.4 points per game, 1.6 rebounds, and 0.5 assists. And you got to remember, guys, that he's only getting around 6 to 8 minutes per game, which isn't a lot to actually do a lot. But with the time that he's actually given, he's actually very, very efficient. His field goal percentage is 42%, his field goal percentage from the three is 43%, and effective field goal percentage in total is actually 60%, which is one of the highest in this Warriors roster. So if Patrick Baldwin Jr. was given the game time that he deserves, I do see Patrick Baldwin Jr. already having an instant impact in this team. I don't know what it is, but Patrick Baldwin Jr. has definitely surprised a lot of people with how mature his game actually is, even though he is just a rookie. Steve Kerr, Draymond Green, even Steph Curry himself have all said the same thing about Patrick Baldwin Jr., that the way he plays is pretty much like a veteran. And there's definitely something to that, and that's why I think Patrick Baldwin Jr. can have an instant impact on this team, and Steve Kerr is definitely looking to get him out there more as time goes on. Yes, it may be 5 to 10 minutes at a time. However, when I think it's crunch time when it comes to playoffs, I do see Patrick Baldwin Jr. getting a couple more minutes if the rotations are there and if the matchups line up perfectly. So Patrick Baldwin Jr. standing at 6'9", 220 pounds, continues to do great things for this team, and I think he will continue to do that even if it's only 15 to 20 minutes on the floor or even less than that. The fourth move the rest of the NBA don't know about is that Jonathan Kuminga is still injured. Now, as you all know, Kuminga has honestly been one of the biggest potential players for this Golden State Warriors team, and a lot of NBA fans and also Warriors fans have a lot of hype that Kuminga could be a next superstar for this Warriors team. And I do think with Kuminga out so far due to the fact that he injured his foot, I think a lot of people have forgotten just how great Kuminga has been for this team so far and what he can do once he comes back. Having Kuminga and Wiggins out there has honestly been a defensive nightmare for other teams because they are able to stop pretty much anyone. They're both stand around 6'8", 210 pounds from Jonathan Kuminga. I think Wiggins is a little bit more heavier, but when it comes to them two, they are honestly an absolute defensive unit, and them together have honestly locked down some of the best players in the league. I think Kuminga can continue to do that. So far this season, he's averaging 7.5 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 1.7 assists, and I know the stats don't show it, but when it comes to him on the defensive end, he definitely has been able to really produce a lot of havoc for a lot of teams. When we look at the games where he's getting a lot more minutes, potentially pretty much 20 minutes and above, he's averaging around 13 to 14 points per game, which is honestly great. But I do think earlier on the season, he was given a lot of times where he was only playing 5 to 6 minutes at a time. And I do think as the season has gone on, they are slowly increasing his minutes and letting him be more a part or involved into the offense and also into that second unit. So I think Kuminga, if given the opportunity to play a lot more minutes and play with that second unit, he is able to be very, very effective, and he can definitely help this team in the long run, especially when it comes to playoff time and also NBA championship time. Now, Kuminga can definitely be that guy that was pretty much Otto Porter last season. Otto Porter did a fantastic job last season being that next defender after Andrew Wiggins, and I think Kuminga has definitely done a fantastic job to fill that spot. Kuminga is still very young at the age of 20, so he still has a lot of learning to do. However, at such a young age, he is really producing produce some of great highlights and great stats that a lot of players his age aren't able to do. So Kuminga, being able to understand what the Warriors want, he is able to do it not only just effectively, but do it efficiently as well. The fifth move is that the Golden State Warriors are getting better as time goes on. Now, a lot of NBA analysts and also NBA fans do this a lot, where after the first 10 games, the NBA tends to really decide on who's better, who's worse from this season, just from after 10 games. If we look at the Warriors, in their first 20 games of the season, they were actually ranked third last in the NBA of the Western Conference. And after that, guys, a lot of NBA analysts and also NBA fans thought it was pretty much over for the Warriors, saying they weren't the same team because they lost players such as Gary Payton II, Otto Porter, and JTA, and that they weren't even going to make the playoffs. Now, on our way to halfway through the season, they are currently ranked 8th and are on their way to going to ranked in the top 5 after one more win. And I think there's something that is very important to actually understand when it comes to the NBA as a whole. The Golden State Warriors, obviously, they have needed some time to really adjust and to have those other players and also new signings be more a part of this team and understand what it's like to play Warriors basketball. And as you guys see, as time has gone on, they have gotten better. They've been able to get on a little bit of win streaks here and there, and they are currently back into the playoff picture just like that. And not even Warriors, even other teams in the past, we've also seen the Brooklyn Nets, who have absolutely dominated as of recent and have been going on a really big win streak. But when it comes to the Warriors, I honestly think it's fantastic to see what they have been able to do as time has gone on. They are getting better and they are really going to understand what they are capable of, especially when it comes playoff time, and that's all really that matters. Whether they're ranked 5th, 6th, 7th, even 1st, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, when it comes to the playoffs, it is a whole different ball game, and that's where the Warriors really do shine. If we look at last season, the Warriors were actually ranked 3rd last season. However, they were at 5th at one point 10 games just before the end of the season. So they did eventually get bumped up into 3 after a couple of wins, and in all honesty, guys, the platform didn't really matter where they were in the rankings because they were able to take home the championship. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Peace.